All right. Happy Saturday, everybody. Happy Saturday, and welcome to another edition, a special edition of Relationship Recap. This is your girl, Christal XO, and we are talking about Love and Marriage Huntsville reunion part three. So every Saturday thus far for this season, we have the conversation with not only Scorpio Moe, but also our good friend C-Dub. You guys, please welcome the guys to the show.
What up? What up?
Oh man. Tonight's episode was good. Tonight's episode was good. And I thought, you guys let me know what you thought, but I thought, because I was like, they're dragging this out, right? Dragging this out. But I thought it was necessary. I did. I thought part 3 was necessary. What about you?
I think you could have did this whole thing in an hour and a half. I'm just saying, the whole thing, an hour and a half.
Yeah. But I mean, the ratings, I think it was still like, do you think today was like, let's rate it first before we go into.
Okay.
Let's rate tonight's episode, and then I know I asked C-Dub to have some ratings as well. So we're going to have a little fun tonight before we get into the show. But let's give our overall ratings for the reunion tonight. What did you guys think?
Tonight, I give this one out of a 10. I give this one, you know what? I give it an 8.
Okay, that's good.
I give it an 8. This was the best one.
Okay. C-Dub, what do you think?
I have no ratings for this coonish behavior, so.
Yeah. I agree with Mo. I'm gonna say 8.5.
Okay, not mad.
Give it 8.5. It was a good show. There's a lot to unpack, but before we do that, last Saturday, I shared with C-Dub, who is a musician of sorts. I shared with him that 2 of the ladies were artists, right? And they have singles out. Actually 3, because Stormy also. Melody has music, Destiny has music, and Stormy also put out a single. Now, I didn't sing you Stormy's single, but she came on at the very end. But I wanted C-Dub to rate Melody's single versus Destiny's single. So Melody had the Side Chick Award, and Destiny has 10. So with that being said, C-Dub, we're going to let you have the floor and let us know from a musician standpoint, what would you rate and why?
I would like to clarify first for all the mellometers, millimeters, kilometers, whoever you are. I think the single is trash. Let me clarify my statement though. I went down a rabbit hole of
whose single was trash?
I'm sorry. Let me start with Melanie's first. I went down a rabbit hole of YouTube videos of after the Side Chick Awards.
Yes.
And I feel like you've watched her life on television.
Mm-hmm.
No need for you to regurgitate and sing about what you've gone through that everyone has viewed. Again, I've watched it. I don't need to hear it in melodic form. So I respect her for going in the studio and attempting to sing.
She laid the track.
To lay the track. I respect her for that. That's number 1. Number 2, who's the other one? Destiny?
Destiny.
Okay. So the video that you sent me sounded like it was from a radio station of some sorts, I believe.
That was what they uploaded to YouTube.
Okay. So whatever they uploaded was trash.
Oh.
I don't understand how someone who listened to that, and I guess let me clarify this. The song was heavily auto-tuned, so I really don't know about her voice, number one.
Okay.
Number two, the person that was gassing it up was like, oh my God, it's giving me life. It's auto-tuned. How much life getting from an auto-tuned verse? That's number two. Between the two of them, I like Mel's more. Now, I like the end of Side Chick Awards when she had more of a rap flow type of, it wasn't singing. It was more of a, popular.
Conversational type.
Yes, it was more of a, a more realistic type of flow. I got that at the end. Had she stayed with that the whole way through, it would have been okay. But all Side Chick, it was too mouthy, too many words. It was too.
Well, she was singing to the side chick. And I would just want to ask you guys this. I know we don't have to stay on this long, but a lot of times artists like creating is cathartic, right? It's like therapy. And even though she did share a lot of it on the show, maybe she needed to get that out, in order to be in a healthy space.
I don't think so, because the one video that I saw talked about her husband stepping out on her when she was pregnant.
Yeah.
Title of that song. And then this Side Chick Award, she was singing that to what's her name? Ariane,
yes.
She was singing it to her. So it's like, that's not made for mass consumption. That's like a song that you just put in the mailbox and walk away like a pipe bomb. It's just, But
Mo, did you listen to the songs?
I listened to Melody song. That was it. I can't do it. I'm not a fan. It don't feel the same to me.
Yeah.
Like, if I know I'm gonna listen to the song, maybe it sounds like somebody, exactly what it is, somebody off an independent label. It doesn't. I'm cool. I see him in one light and one light only. I'm sorry. I'd rather see you have a music career and do reality TV and then instead of reality TV, then make a record.
Especially when you're talking about, I think it probably pigeonholed her when she's talking about exactly what she was doing on the reality TV show. It seems almost like a sidetrack to the show.
There it is.
A soundtrack to the show. Hold on, I gotta close this door. It's driving me crazy. It's driving me nuts. Hold on.
Thank y'all for joining us this Saturday evening. We done did this 3 weeks in a row. I really appreciate sitting on us. This is not obviously our normal time. So we truly appreciate you guys coming in and watching us recap this a recap show about the reunion for the 3rd Saturday in a row. I truly appreciate it. I'm sure Christal does as well. My man, she came through, and I appreciate y'all sharing y'all Saturdays with us. I really do.
Well, that Hope says Mellow Meters like her song. It is meant for everyone. It seems like you all have a strong dislike for Melody.
No,
Melody is the finest one on there now. Don't get it twisted.
No,
but we don't have a dislike for Melody. We in fact, I said I feel like, but I think the Mellow Meters are going to think what they think. I feel like she did a great.
I like her as a person. She's cool and all, but musically, that ain't it, Chief.
Yeah, I mean, but I think people are going to say, unless you say nothing, unless you don't give her any critique, her fans are going to be angry. They don't want to hear anything other than she's great. And we think she's great, but we just also think maybe not. No, maybe not. I just don't think this culture is not really anti-side chicks. So I don't think people, like back in the day when Barbara and Shirley, yes, but it's not like that today. But I just thought that would be fun to kind of put the songs, see what C-Dub thought of them musically. He just doesn't seem to have any thoughts about Destiny's musically. So we'll move on. I want to start by saying what I really liked about tonight's episode was they actually honored Kiki, because I was wondering, like, when is that coming? I felt like you know, her being on the show and her being, I feel like, used, you know, in the conflict between Mel and Tisha.
Right.
And then her being unable to really handle it. You know, I went to Huntsville, I interviewed Kiki, and I feel like not everybody does well with being on reality TV. And I feel like she had a really difficult time with it. I feel like I'm glad that they did that, and I thought it was well overdue, because anytime we don't really know exactly what happened, because the things leading up to her, you know, her passing were a little confusing. But what I do think is that she definitely struggled with the response and being on the show. She was going through a lot in her personal life. And when you're going through a lot in your personal life, being on a reality TV show probably is not the best thing. You know what I mean? Because it doesn't really give you a chance to process personally. You're doing it in front of a national audience, which can be very difficult. So I love the fact that they showed the cast coming together. And then they gave her, you know, some time there. I almost wish we could have started with that, because I understand why Carlos ended with it, but I almost feel like starting with it could have made the tension a little bit different and the energy a little bit different on the show. And I think the fans were waiting for that, because her passing away was so sudden and just shocking, you know, after her being on the show for 2 seasons.
Right. That's fair.
Yeah. Yeah. So and like I said, for me, I guess because I actually talked to her on the phone, and then I drove down to Huntsville just to talk to her. She invited me to her home. And I appreciated that. And I just, you know, I thought that was touching, and I thought that was something that everybody came to together. I thought Stormy was smart. I think that she proved that if you really are about your business, sometimes, you know, they have this saying that has been in entertainment forever, that there's no such thing as bad publicity. All publicity is good publicity, and that's not true. And so I liked her coming back. She looked great. I wasn't crazy about the dress, but it looked nice on her figure. She's you know, she's got a nice figure, but her saying that people knew her for her business, and that's really what she wanted to be known for. And then getting on the show, it became her reputation got besmirched with a lot of negativity. I thought that was big of her to acknowledge, and then to say she didn't want to be a part of that. I respect that.
That's somebody smart, man. You know, but if you're a person out there chasing fame, it's hard for people to let go of that. You know, that's a form of currency, the notoriety, and like we say on social media with the likes, so on and so forth. So it takes a person, especially if you were already having some success before that. There's no need to muddy up the water and with other stuff, and you find out it's really taken away from your brand at that point. You know, but that are really addicted to the celebrity side of it. You know what I mean? And you know, because you got to figure there's people that she, like, you know, she built her brand before the show. Built your brand because of the show. You might feel like you need to stay on.
That's true.
You know what I mean? So there is a difference.
Yeah. I think I agree. I think that that's true. And I do want to encourage that. Thank you, RMP. If we could all put purple hearts in the chat tonight in honor of Kiki, I think that would be great. Thank you so much for suggesting that. That could be our way of honoring her tonight. You know, I think just her energy and her just, you know, wanting to be validated, and, you know, we didn't get a chance to see much from her. So if we could just do that. Thank you guys in the chat. That's beautiful. So back to Stormy. I agree. I think that shows what you really want in life. And there are a lot of women that come on these shows and they claim to be business women, but they don't move accordingly. And I just, you know, you have to respect Stormy for moving like a businesswoman, and you have to respect the fact that she's actually working diligently in that space. She never did become so caught up in the TV part that she lost what she was doing for her business. And you got to respect that.
That's when that's where the passion lies.
Yeah.
Like all these people that you see singing now, not saying they didn't like singing or anything like that, but if you had true passion, that would have been your thing. You know what I mean? And maybe at some point it was. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
when you do it afterwards and after success, it's basically because you have access. You know what I mean? So whatever it might be, social media, you have all these likes because now they become famous on social media, then they become a famous artist. Opposed to had to be, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Around you had to have good material, then people would know you or at least play it on the radio a dozen times. Now you get the shot because you have these followers, whoever it is you sell. If we can get a mainstream record by a mainstream producer and on a label, then maybe we can see a difference. But to me, it just screams independence when I see do that, and that's where that passion lies. That other woman, she was doing this before then, so she realizes this is jeopardizing my brand. Let me fall back, and good for her, because nobody known about the arrest had, you know what I mean?
Well, no, that's not true. It did hit the blogs because there are bloggers that do talk there, and that was a big blog story.
But because she was on the show, if she was just somebody that no one knew and she just had a brand, who knows, it wouldn't have been out there the way it was.
Yeah. Well, honestly, she would not have been arrested, period, if she had not been on the show, because it was the Mellometers or someone that, were that came and were upset with her and going back and forth. So I do think you're right. If she wasn't on the show, that would not have affected her at all. There was another interesting point brought up tonight by Kimmy that I think even speaks to that. So you have to stay focused on your focus, right? And so Stormy was already doing Canvas Beauty. I know publicist Chanel that was working with her on her brand before she got on Love Marriage Huntsville. They thought she would be a good fit because she knew some of the ladies and she was so successful. She already had, in fact, Melody shot one of her music videos on Stormy's property because she has horses and this big, huge, beautiful property. So that was, she was already doing that. And I think when Kimmy said today that we were all shooting for free in Melody's backyard because we wanted to be on this, she wanted to do this show. And they obviously wanted to be on it because for them to come and spend their time, it wasn't just because they like Melody, it was because they also thought they could be on TV, right? But I think Stormy making the decision to stay focused on her business and get her reward through what she was doing just speaks to her confidence as a woman, because sometimes chasing somebody else's dream can mess you up.
That's a fact. That's true. Very, very true.
Yeah. So, yes, it was a content creator that came to replace the business. Thank you guys. Keep the purple hearts coming in the chat for Kiki. Let's try to do that all night long, just in honor of her presence on the show as we pivot again to, what do you think between, go ahead.
You made a comment about somebody's dress. I got a closer look at the dress today. Wasn't that bad?
Which one?
Trish.
You like Trish's dress?
No, it didn't look bad. Trish's dress looked bad when she's standing next to homie. Because it's too much green. That's what's too much.
The greens clashed.
Yeah, it's too much. But her, when they had just the ladies,
and
she was sitting up there, I saw the dress, and her, if it looked good against her complexion, I was like, it's not a bad dress. It just looks bad. The homie's outfit.
Isn't green a color you shouldn't wear on TV anyway?
No, because Stormy came out in green and the old girl had green. They both look. The colors look good on them. I'll say that.
Yeah, I didn't like that color green. I don't know. I don't have a picture of her from the reunion to pull up. I do think when they both came out, the greens were clashing, and maybe that's why I didn't. I just was like, I don't see the two of them together.
Right.
I'm trying to pull up a picture of just her by herself.
Because I was like, okay, it wasn't. I was looking at it like, yeah, this ain't bad. But then I thought about his joint, and I was like, yeah, that's probably what it was.
Yeah, because when they came out together,
right,
and right. Their colors definitely, their greens definitely did clash.
And it took away from both of their outfits, but especially hers, because by herself, it didn't look better. Which is a great segue into them. Can we get into them?
Let's do it. Let's go.
Yes, the Marques situation. I ain't gonna lie. There's a part of me that likes Marques.
Really?
I don't. It's you kind of feel sorry for him. I don't know. It's a part of me that likes Marques. I think he's wrong, but it's just something you be like, because you can see him getting heart for a second to stand up for what he wants, but then he comes back down. Then it's just so up and down, but it's funny to watch. I think he's dead wrong, but your heart kind of goes out for the guy for a second. You'd be like, man, let that man have that woman back. You don't want her like that.
Oh, I think Ken wants her, or wanted her. I do agree. Thank you, you all. The hair, that's probably what threw me off with Trish. The blonde wig with the dress.
You know what? That too, but I just see the wig. I looked up, obviously I saw the wig. But I went back down to the dress and her in the job. It's not a bad dress. Now the wig is something, yeah.
The wig, but see, green and yellow don't really mesh together. I don't know what goes with yellow hair.
She's too brown for that yellow. That's the problem.
Yeah, it's not the right yellow for her skin tone. Because actually, Mel's blonde looked good with her skin tone and with her blue dress. That is not what looked good on Trish. And I didn't like Destiny's yellow either. But even though her yellow didn't clash as bad because she had on the red. That green and yellow, I ain't like it. But I do want to say, not Tina Bree said she was Team Marques tonight. I'm not going to go that far. I definitely am not Team Marques.
But I wasn't mad at homie, man. He got a little heart. He was saying what he meant, and what's the name was counter. Like he's going to lose every time. But there's just something about me. I like a little bit of Marques. I don't know why.
That's wild. Corey, what do you think about Marques?
Who, me?
Yeah, you can.
I don't know who he is. I don't know.
Okay.
I want Mark. You know why? I like laughing at Marques and just see what he's about to do next. I'm voting to make him a full member cast member.
So you just want to be messy. You want to be messy.
Nah, I just think
you do. No,
I will let him keep shooting the shot at Mel. That's a whole season right there. Let's see that.
I don't like that. I thought I just never understand what. Now I do say this. Marques did bring up some good points tonight. I will say that. The first point that he brought up was that Ken was saying that he wanted to lick Trish like a lollipop while they were still together.
And did they ever address that?
No, he would not address it.
He said
Ken just moved on.
We was still. He said we was good.
He did. And then he also said, and I don't know if you picked it. I know you got it, Mo. I don't know if the chat picked it up. But he said if she went over there, something happened.
He know his woman.
He knows his woman.
Now people, we know our people, but he know her.
He does.
How you think he got it? When they was in high school, first time she came over to the crib when his mom was out, he knew how she get down.
He said another thing. He was dropping small gems, and I was picking them up. He said she don't want to marry you. If that was the case, she should have done that 4 years ago.
See, y'all can hate on. See, I told y'all like Marques. He gonna say, I'm just putting it out.
Did y'all pick that up? He said.
Can I ask you a question though?
Yeah.
Trish and Ken, they're married, right or no?
No. And in fact, thank you for someone brought it up. They are, according to they're not together anymore because Ken's Instagram page, he has scrubbed it of Trish. There's only dark-skinned Ken.
I guess he took his Corvette with him.
He right. He's out. So yeah, she's gone. I want you guys to check that out. Ken said this is all about him. And now it does still say a cast of the Marriage Huntsville, but he no longer has Trish. So I don't know what that means. I don't know if he thinks he's going to be able to stay on here without Trish. But he took every picture of hers down, which lets me know, number one, that he's hurt, right? He's angry. He's embarrassed. But Marques had told him if she went over there, she did it. And she don't even want to marry you. And you were reaching out to her in 2017. So I feel like Marques shared truth. He was a truth teller tonight.
I'm rocking with him a little bit. We'll see. Now, when he do something stupid, I'm abandoning him. I'm letting y'all know right. But thus far, I like shooting this shot at Mel. It's never going to happen, but it's entertaining to me.
Well, he said that he wanted to work on some business and move forward on business. What business do you think that Marques has that he wants to work with Mel on?
I don't know, but I used to want to work with my son's mother. We was working on some. And then you see what happened with that. It's working on that was my colleague too. Nah, but here's the thing. I think homeboy's just there to ride the wave and to get a check, to be honest with you.
I don't think he's getting a check.
No, not yet. I think he's trying to work his way for if he becomes a person that when he comes in there, he's making the scene or he steals the scene, people going to request for him, bring him back. This is how you work your way from working from. Huh?
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, as long as Carlos keep writing them back, and he will, I think it'll be all right. I bet you Carlos like him.
I don't think he does.
Carlos is a messy bitch.
I don't think he likes him. I don't.
Yeah, but he likes him for TV.
Well, I tell you what, if this Corey, if Ken has bailed out on Trish, he definitely doesn't fit. He's gonna be gone, right? So if Ken and Trish are no longer together, then we may see more of Marques with Trish.
This is the build up to possibly to get them back. She's going to have this triangle. He's going.
I don't think so.
Well, until Ken scrubs his name off, or he's just keeping the name on his Instagram to get the ladies. I was about to say something else. Get the ladies. Get those ladies.
I picked that up, Mo. Emphasis on those ladies. He did say that he was very popular. Lots of women were reaching out to him.
Who's that? Ken or Marques?
Ken.
I'm telling you.
He does training.
He does. How much business picked up?
You know what? That's another thing that they said about the training. And Marques said something else about the training. Like, you know, if you go over to train, it's no way. It's no. If that's what you were doing. That's what he was going over. That's what she was going over to Martell's for.
Right.
Yeah. Hey, he did come with a lot of truth. Okay, so they said that Marques has crash out hoodies. Hey,
until he actually does, but you see the man, he comes in and he speaks to everyone in the room.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he's a deadbeat. We can get to that. That part is understood. And I'm not dismissing that. Like, he should have been there the way he abandoned it. I don't know if he came to Atlanta to make a mixtape, whatever he came down here for. But for him to abandon his family, but I need to know, I mean, did he still call him? Did he just...
Well, Kimmy made a good point, even if, because he said that it's not just he said a lot of stupid stuff as well as the truth. Because he said that the money, first of all, he kept calling Ken homie, which was funny to me. But yeah, he said that the monetary value doesn't make you a father, but it does make you a provider, and it is one of the roles of fatherhood. So the fact that Ken was taking care of the house
is yes.
Say it again.
But if you're making the money is not doing it. It's where you're putting the money. But
Ken was spending the money on the children.
Right. But he was just saying having it doesn't. And I get his thing, but that's not it. That man was there. If I'm not mistaken, they're in his home, correct?
Well, Ken said in that scene that he pays for everything, so that means it is his home.
I like that. So that's got to make someone feel a way. I've seen women feel a way when the daughter come back from the weekend and her hair is done. So I can imagine if someone's in your crib every day, speaking to your kids first, doing everything with you see what I'm saying?
That's also just what happens when you break up with your significant other. That's just life. That's adult life.
Thank you. And
so I think shouts out to Marceau for telling him that when they went to sit down that time. And he was like, if somebody is in your house, you want them to be taking care of your children. You want them to be showing your children affection, because why would you want, how many people have we heard that had stepdads that were mean and hateful to them? And they were just like, why would the mother be with this man? You don't want like a baby boy where the stepdaddy is like, this is my house now. He in there frying up.
Jody was too grown to be in there. You want that.
That's true.
Melvin ain't tell Jody nothing wrong. Don't do that. Melvin ain't tell Jody nothing wrong. Guns and butter. Oh no, don't do that. Don't do that.
Let that man check in the kitchen with his woman.
Yeah.
But I mean, when the kids are younger, though.
First place. You here to see this in the first place. It ain't her house either. That's Big Mama house. That's what Jody said.
He did.
But here's the thing, man. Everybody can say that, but honestly, to see that and to feel that, have compassion, but that had to hurt. Let them adjust it. Everybody, there's another man is in there. Everybody say that shit until it's done. And what I'm saying, let that man, he's young. He got to adjust to that feeling. He might be able to give this information to someone else a little later, but you got to allow him to feel, not act, but you got to allow him to feel and get it out of the system and understand it. He did a great job by talking to him. And then let it. But that's a hard, we can say it, you should just, and you left for the kids. That's still a hard pill to swallow. I don't care for anybody, especially if you love your kids and you loved your wife. And just be like, I failed as a person. I'm sure he didn't want to fail, and I'm sure it's stuff he could have did to prevent that, but he did it. And he don't know how to put it back together, and now it's moving on without him. That's got to hurt a little bit.
Yeah, no, I get that. And sometimes we can, do, especially when you have children in high school and early and you don't really know what to do. I get that. But this is also just part of it. So yes, we can allow him to feel it, but that doesn't mean that the situation would change, and that nor does it take away from your responsibility. But when I was interviewing Trisha, I feel like it's part of her fault as well, because she told him that was fine. Go away, figure out what you want to do, go find yourself. And and we've also, it's been alluded to that he could have mental health issues, right? So if he was dealing with depression or anxiety or something like that, and he wasn't able to be there and financially, and she's telling him it's fine, that's really not fair to get upset and say, well, you weren't there.
Especially when you're at the back door. We keep forgetting that. He's at the back door waiting to come in while the other dude walk out the front door. So she's only saying that because she knows somebody's going to fill in that gap in a bigger, better way.
Or maybe she was already, because Trisha is a liar. Can we just say that again today?
Absolutely.
Trisha is a liar. Even everything that she, like today, I was just like, she does not tell the truth. The story about her and Martell, it still didn't make sense. With her saying, because her story was even different when because they doubled back on it today with her saying all they did was talk. Before she said that they were watching a movie. It just doesn't make any sense. Now I don't it doesn't make any sense. And I understand Lois Lane brought up the fact that Trish was grieving over her parents. She had a lot of deaths in her family. I understand that. I definitely understand that. And also I think when you're dealing with grief, sometimes you don't make good decisions, right? You may look for comfort in other places. And she said Ken did not support her emotionally. So maybe she was leaning on Ken and other men to fill that void. But what's questionable to me, and Mo, I want you to tell me your thoughts. So Ken keeps saying he doesn't care because Martell was before him. How is that possible when it was 2021 to 2023? And Marques said that I guess they broke up, and then in 2020 he was gone. Well, 2020 he was gone. Now we know that Melody and Martell were separated from like 2020, 2021 because Martell was cheating during COVID, right? When he was in the house. So 2021 they were separated. That's when Trish allegedly went over to watch the movie. Then Ken said they weren't together, but it sounds like Ken was there the whole time. If Ken started hitting on her in 2017 and they've been together for 3 years, and this was filmed last year, so we can't count 2025. How is Ken not there while she's definitely still talking to Ken when she went over Martell's?
Okay. What's your question?
I mean, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I see that, but maybe he's not invested. Maybe it's this fun thing.
Ken is invested. Okay, I see what you're saying. Maybe they weren't locked in at that time.
Maybe he didn't think she would ever put old boy out. So this is just fun for him. She can't require too much time. You know what I'm saying? It's COVID. Everybody talking stuff. You in the house. She was like, well, they were in the house. This is the best time to cheat. COVID was the best time to cheat. He's going to be a cheater. COVID was the best time. I'm just going to put that out there. But I say this. Like, he had to, Marques, if he knew what was going on then, my thing is, how come he didn't address it then? Why is it coming up? Or maybe
it sounded like he did, and Trish blew him off. Because it sounded like he said he saw the.
I've never heard a woman ever, when all we did is talk. I promise you'll find out later that's not all they did. Talking all right. Anytime a person would ever say that, just believe that is more than what they did.
Of course. So they're saying Ken said they got together October 2021. Okay.
No, that's when they officially.
That's when they officially got together, because you remember when Melody had her on that questionnaire and she was like, well, it was the fall. She said it was the fall. Was it for the summer or the fall of 2021? And Trish said she didn't remember.
Was it hot or was it cold? That's what you determine is the summer or fall. And
she said she did not remember. She did not remember. But it basically is the same time period. Because you guys remember, Melody kept saying, well, in 2021, they were still in the house together. And then Martell had gotten his own house. My point is just the timeline doesn't make sense to where she wasn't dealing with Ken. And if it was, it might have been right after that for him to be acting like he doesn't care. It's just weird to me.
But what homeboy saying 2017, then she was messing with all three. And he don't care because at that time he's not invested, maybe. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay.
He was just having a good time.
Okay. So when he moved in, then he feels like everything should have stopped.
Because I guarantee you, it started out as his gym wife. That work thing, I bet you, because I heard the gym wives, work wives, I bet you that's how it starts.
Yeah, that's. I mean, obviously, if he was making those comments on her page, they were at the gym together. Marques doesn't look like he was at the gym. You know, at least not as much as Trish.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing. Hey, you ever see somebody that's seeing somebody at work and they got somebody at home? When that person from work don't show up, that other person, that face be long that day. It's
because that's where they find their joy. They go to work and find joy.
Your little work boo ain't come to work today. That's why you acting the way you act. Watch that. Gym buddies, though. Seriously.
I believe that. I believe that. What did you guys think about Martell saying that Trish didn't look the same, and that's why he didn't say anything? And then when Carlos asked him, did she look like somebody he would have wanted to be intimate with? And then Martell is full of jokes, but what do you think that was all about?
I think he messes with her. I think they done something and he plays with her with that. And he's probably scares the mess out of her.
Yeah.
He convinced homeboy didn't happen. He convinced himself. It's not a convince. That's man law. It should be. If it was before me and y'all knew each other, it's not like I introduced you to each other and you got with her before me. But I didn't know of you. I didn't know of her. Y'all did. That's. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what it really is. You can't really trip on that. Now, if she had a thing and she's, she has an attraction to him, and that might be something different. And obviously, she does because she's mentioned it before. Correct?
She did. She said that she would have definitely let people know. Also, Ken said he made a statement that. Well, Carlos asked, and he confirmed. Did he feel like Martell was making Trish look like a loose woman?
My word is becoming prime time. I'm just gonna put that out there. What kind of woman?
Loose. Loose.
Come on, y'all. Hashtag.
What is Scorpio Moe's definition of a loose woman?
Loose.
The fact that you even have to ask me that lets me know you're not too sure about your behavior.
That's not true. That is not true, Mo. I am certain. No. I just think there could be people in the chat who don't know what a loose woman means. I wish I was there. I would hit you upside the head with this book. What is your definition of a loose woman? Because I mean, I think men judge women differently than they judge themselves. Are you a loose man?
That's
At
not
times,
the question.
At times, I can be a loose man, especially if I'm single, and I am. But in a relationship, not no more. Not no more. Not no more. Used to be. Not no more. Ain't got time for it now. But
Edna said, is it soup yet? That's his definition.
Is it soup? Oh, that's some old lady talking. Older lady. Who the fucking truck?
No, that's meaning like, is it loose? Is it loose?
Is it what? Like soup?
Is it loose? Like, is it soup? Never mind.
Let me tell you something. Any woman that refers to herself as soup and is it loose is way too much. That's out of my league.
Edna said that's Brooklyn. She said that's Brooklyn, Mo.
Oh, my bad. Soup. I don't know. I don't know. But I will say this. If you're out there and you're man to man and your friends and you're sleeping with all of them and this guy this week and this guy and then without relationships or trying to get into one or whatever, and or you're in a relationship and you're being loose with other men, then you're loose. Y'all know what loose is. You're not on a hold on anything.
I'm just messing with you, but I didn't know we were going to go down this part. I just wanted you to give me a succinct no. Okay.
Thank you for saying loose. Thank you. Keep it going.
Well, that's what Carlos said. He asked, did Ken think that Martell was making Trish look like that? But I don't think Martell made her look like that. I think she made herself look like that.
Thank you. I mean, let's look at the pattern. It's her with this guy. It's her. The husband left, went to Atlanta. It's her with Martell. I mean, who's the loose one in here?
But why is the divorce not finalized? That's what I don't. And the fact that it wasn't even an issue is still not finalized. Ken, and even Ken's friend, the barber, said, "Man, it's really on. It's not even on Marques. It's really on Trish."
But she told us on the last show, right? She told her kids.
Yeah, she told, and that's the thing. Maybe Ken saw that.
Saw what?
The show, and saw what she was saying behind his back. Because behind his back, with Destiny, she told Destiny she wasn't sure if she was ready to she didn't want to get married anytime soon. She told the kid she didn't want to get married anytime soon. Ken said, "Are you ready to get married?" And she was like,
Right there. And he said he was like, he had his four. I'll never forget it. He had his 40s. He was like, "Hey, you weren't supposed to say it like that." I was like, "Oh, you gonna make this big dude mad, boy."
Oh, okay. Linda V has some tea. She said Trish lied on the paperwork and said they didn't have any children under 18 when that was a lie, and Marques contested it. What?
Where you from, Huntsville?
Okay, so she said that's why the divorce isn't final. Trish, I really don't understand. Maybe we'll get to understand more of her dysfunction next season, this upcoming season, because she's very strange to me. But I do think Ken is over it, because I think Ken was trying he said that, the kids are a package deal. He was willing to do that. And I think he really loves Trish, but I think it's just a good rule of thumb. Don't move in and pledge your loyalty and faithfulness and finance to somebody else's wife. Just not a smart thing. Wait till after the paperwork is done, because at this point, Marques and Trish are legally still married. So,
Yeah, but sometimes the thing you creep with ain't the thing you're supposed to be with. And it's only good space.
Say that again.
Sometimes the thing you creep with is the thing that you're not supposed to actually be with. It's only for that. And when you try to bring it over here and make it work, it's like it was better off. You have more. Sometimes it's more fun. Sometimes the person, because you come to get away a lot of times to get away from all the everything. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Now everything becomes dumb. You're just responsible and this, that, and the other. When I would counsel women, I would just, I give them a little time to vent, and they vent a little bit, but then they're like, "I don't want to talk about that. I ain't here for that." Now, if they were my woman, not only would they be here for that, they will constantly do it and then seek refuge somewhere else.
Is that what we're calling it? Refuge?
Sanctuary,
if you will. I'm just saying. So, that's why they tell you to be my peace. You see what I'm saying? Because I don't want to have to tell this to somebody else, and you know what I'm saying?
And can I get a piece?
Yeah, it's like I don't want to have to. I want to do it here, and I don't want that. That's how the doors open up for that other stuff to happen. Unfortunately, So be that man's peace, man.
Well, it's just kind of strange because, like in the situation with Ken and Trish, them living together as a married couple, but her being married to somebody else, he and Trish have an argument. He leaves. It's like that's not even that's somebody else's wife anyway. Like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, why would you even be putting all this energy into it until you knew it was a clean slate? So that's, I think, his bad.
But do you think she sold it to him though?
Probably. That's usually what people do.
Yeah. That's
usually what people do is they sell the BS to get what they want, and then when they get it, then they go back to business as usual.
And if you like them, you think it's really gonna happen.
Yeah. Ken did say he paid for everything. I think she definitely did sell him. Obviously, Trish has some. She knows what she's doing when it comes to getting to a man's. Because Marques is still in love with her. I think she had Ken totally whipped. He was paying for everything.
All that engineering work.
No, I don't trust the engineering. We talked about that last week with her telling Kimmy she's ready to let all the engineering go to train people, and then you're not a business person if you go to train somebody and y'all watch movies and talk. That tells me you're not on your business. That's not a business move. That was just a lie.
Yeah, just think about this. Moving forward, she can never tell you she's going to train with somebody. She can never say that now.
Never can say that.
In fact, you ain't training men, period. Not even.
Yeah.
Think about
it. Taking a little bit of a pivot. Carlos's suit was snatched. It was hilarious to me when he kept getting up at the buckle on the side.
Every time that buckle made me think of an old shoe. I hate
It was so prominent when he got up. I was like, that is hilarious. It's snatched in on the side.
I do not like it. But Mason had, what are you, a leprechaun? Why do you have a belt buckle?
I did not like the buckle on the side, but he looked nice. And I like the fact that he held everybody accountable. What did you think about the part when Melody was saying that that Nell would tell everybody, get in line because it's Queen Melody. And then she said, they all said that Melody had changed, under the success. Do you think it's the success of the show, or do you think it's the fact that she doesn't really mess with them because they all came into the situation with her and Martell and they still have connections with Martell?
I think a little of both, but more about her celebrity. She rose, I mean, when I first seen it and I first saw that first episode and they were, she was performing. No, the Carlos and them were doing the thing. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And that energy, that has to be intoxicating, especially, you got this fan base that grew and they got a name and they're telling you you're like this person to them. In this small town, like Huntsville ain't that big.
It's not.
And I think that's normal.
Yeah.
I think that's a little bit as normal. But as far as Nell is concerned, that's the energy I got from Nell. That she was always praising old girl.
Yeah, that's me too.
I haven't seen all the seasons, but for what I've seen, he does put that light on her like that.
Yeah, I think so, because I think Nell is old school, and I think she wanted to be on TV. And I think Nell is old school. I think she wanted to be on TV, and I think she goes by the rules of, don't make her mad because she gave us this opportunity. I want this opportunity. I'm not gonna rock the boat. Where Tisha don't feel like that. She feels like, well, we've been here. We should have our own shot. And Nell is like, she's the boss. Let it. And I do feel like, to an extent, if they all came together because Melody provided the opportunity and it was her dream, then I don't think you should ever you don't praise nobody, but I would just be like, let me just stay out of her way if I want to be on the show. That's just realistic. Because it was her thing, and it's interesting now for her to have created this show. She's obviously still going to profit from it, but for her to have created the show and then to be leaving, I wonder how the show can possibly continue. That happens a lot because we know that different people start shows and they move on and the show continues, but it's just very strange to me. And I think I can understand why Nell would have that mentality, but I also understand why Kimmy would be like, after a while, we deserve to be treated with a little bit more respect because we have been here from before.
And that's just grown talk, and being real, because some people want to keep you where you're at or where you started.
Yeah.
And, actually, our storylines were better than yours. Or just as good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So thing where it starts off like this, then it kind of like, you know what I mean? It kind of, you got to give the people respect, man. They don't technically work for you. You know what I mean? It's still part of the production and Carlos King and the whole thing. So I think, she has to give up some respect to them too.
Yeah. I guess with the rooms, I thought that, and we don't know what the rooms look like because they didn't really film in the rooms. But with them saying that
they paying the rooms.
Was it bad? Do you think it was that bad?
Some of them had just open spaces with beds pushed up against the wall in the one room. I remember that.
Yeah, that was Tisha, but Kimmy said that she felt like she got caught in the crossfire because Melody was upset because Tisha was bringing Destiny.
That could be true. I can see that.
I think that was true. I also did agree with Melody tonight when she said Destiny was up under her, like every time she moved, like trying to talk to her. Because when she wanted to sit next to her, that was weird to me. I thought that was very strange. Like she was almost like, but you know what? It's kind of like high school where there's the popular pretty girl and everybody wants to be next to her. I think Destiny really wants to be Mel's friend. And I think on that trip, she was really trying hard to be, because her saying, I'm going to sit next to Mel, and then whispering so that, and I mean, I could definitely see that. I definitely agree with Melody. And it's like, we're not cool. Melody brought her 2 new friends that she really wanted, was connected with. Everybody else, it was just there for obviously work. But I think Destiny, like, Destiny has some past trauma or whatever, but it felt like she really, really wanted to be close to Mel again. Not Edna said it was like the servants' quarters. Melody gave them the servants' quarters.
But you can't rush those things. You can't push those. You can't force those things.
If it's free, and I get it, but I mean, they do it on all the shows though. Every single reality show, they go on a trip. Whoever's friends with the chick that plans the trip gets a good room. Whoever's beefing with the chick that plans the trip gets a bad room. That's just a part of it. And I'm not saying I'm not. Y'all are wild. I said I thought Destiny was weird. I thought that was very strange that she kept trying to befriend Mel on the trip. It's almost like she wanted to get back into being her good girlfriend again. And I just thought that was too much. It just felt awkward.
Got you. Hey man, listen. Be on that woman's side. I think because the friends did have the better room. I ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah, they did.
Maybe you should have got there first.
I don't think Melody likes Tisha, period. Like, she just doesn't like Tisha. And I do think I think she respects Kimmy, but I do think she was upset because Kimmy and Tisha are always going to be like this because their husbands are brothers. So even if Kimmy and Tisha's personalities are different, and Kimmy said, I would never hang out with Tisha if she wasn't my sister-in-law, but they still going to be together because of Marcel and Maurice. So I think Melody just doesn't like them. And I think that was going to happen regardless. But Destiny is what I'm saying. Like, I think she should have just, if somebody don't like you, just leave them alone. She could say, I'm sorry, but thinking that you're going to become her bestie again was not realistic.
Gotta give it time. Give it time, man.
Or just leave it. At this point, Melody said, leave it alone. Just, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. Anything else that stood out to you about tonight's episode? Uh-oh.
You are doing too much, man.
I'm just trying to fix some things.
Oh, Lord. Corey, back up, man. You too big to be over here.
I'm too big to be over there.
Shut up, Crystal. I didn't do anything.
What's the question? I'm sorry.
I just said, what else stood out to you about tonight? Marques trying to give Melody the roses that was on the centerpiece, but Carlos set him up though.
That's what I'm saying. That part became entertaining. I like when Stormy came out and made her point. I'm just going over the whole show in my head. I guess they were done with the 2 brothers, Maurice and
Marcel. Yeah, I would have liked to hear more from them. Did you like Stormy's dress?
I maybe on someone else. Something was throwing me off.
I think it was the nude. The nude did not. You know what?
Because they kept at first when they were showing, who's this going to be? Who's this going to be? And
I think that the mesh and y'all, I'm gonna just tell you what I thought. I don't, and I like Stormy, y'all, but y'all gonna say what y'all gonna say, period. But I don't. The mesh threw me off because if it's gonna be mesh, it needs to be like the color of your skin, and I feel like the mesh looked like it belonged to this young lady right here. The mesh just did not. It. I'm trying to find the right picture here. The mesh was the color of this young lady, and I just don't. I don't like it. You see, because it was this color mesh. It was that color.
Right.
And I think it just, if it had been like actually like see-through, but it was like the color of Miss Piggy. It like old stockings that from the old day when everybody's stockings was the same color. I ain't like it. It was definitely made for her because it fit her body perfectly. The mesh was just wrong.
That might be it. I saw the neck being wrong. She didn't have really much of a neck. I would like a longer neck on for a dress like that. I would have liked that. Other than that, I didn't see no. I like her energy. She seems
she's dope.
She seems happy. I'm glad.
Yeah, she's dope. And her husband is actually probably the most normal person there. Like he was a cool dude.
Did the husband hang out with them much?
No.
There you go.
And when she called Marceau a bitch, the husband backed her up.
She ain't lying.
She called him a bitch twice.
And his wife did what?
Nothing.
And there you go.
She did nothing, and then Marceau did nothing either. So, yeah.
I mean, anything at that point, what he would have did, y'all would have said he was wrong anyway. Unfortunately, that's how it go. So the wife, because if he say he gonna be wrong, they're gonna say he wrong.
Yeah. You
know.
Courtney doesn't, and I think Courtney and Stormy to me have the most normal marriage. Like it's real. It's not, it's not for TV. And I'm not saying the other ones have for TV marriages, but I like their balance. They seem like they're best friends. They seem like they really, really vibe and they get each other. He just seems very much like a man that is comfortable in his skin and got his own thing going on.
Did Stormy have surgery?
Yes, she did. And
there it is. Okay. I could tell.
I think everybody on there has had some work done. And to their defense, I think it's difficult being on reality TV. I think people are very critical. And I think a lot of times the women, feel like they're under a microscope. But Stormy was honest about, and she showed her process. She shared it, on her page. So she wasn't trying to lie and say she didn't have surgery. She was very open about it.
Smart. I was smart.
Yeah, she's good. Yeah, the mesh was wrong on that dress, but the dress was dope. I like the braid on it. I think it looked nice on her. I just didn't like the mesh. It looked like Miss Piggy in the middle.
Man, I was hoping it was somebody else. I wasn't expecting her.
Who were you hoping it was? Ariane?
I saw the back, so I knew it couldn't be Coleslaw. I was really hoping it was her, but when they kept showing that clip, I was like, nah, she ain't built like that. I couldn't figure out who it was. I just wanted.
They can't bring her on there because for Melody to start that show and them to bring Martell's mistress that caused her so much pain, that would be so. They could not do that. And plus, Melody is still an executive producer. There's no way for that to happen. So people kept saying that they're going to bring Coleslaw. And it's like, how? They can't. That's Melody's show. She needs to go start her own show.
What was it? Melody's damn, what is it? She got a boyfriend. That's what it was.
She got a boyfriend. She's had a boyfriend for a while. She just doesn't want to share it on TV.
Why do you think that is? Well, I guess she don't. If it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. That ain't saving nothing. But I get it.
Yeah, I think she does. I think she don't want Martell going after the person, honestly, because she was like, "You don't know who it is." She kept making sure she let Martell know he don't know who it is. You could tell it bothers him, but I think she just don't want, because whenever he finds out who it is, he's definitely going after that person and trying to talk.
She be in Atlanta a lot.
She does.
Ain't heard it from me.
She does. She does. She actually was at the Portia show when Adrian was there. And he was like, because we had done an event and we did an event together, and they talked, they met. So when she was at the Portia show, he was like, "Hey, Melody, you know me?" And she was like, "I don't know you." And he said, "Yeah, I'm Christal's husband, blah, blah." And she was like, "Oh, okay." And I was like, "You shouldn't even have done that." But, my husband's just very friendly. But he was like, "Yeah, I saw Melody's here." And I was like, yeah. And she probably was like, okay. But she does spend a lot of time here in Atlanta. Tammy said Martell stalked her on a date. I think that Martell probably will definitely stalk Melody, start Melody's
date.
What? Portia's family of lies. I don't know what that's about. No, Portia, not Portia Williams from oh God, no. Portia that has a TV show on Fox that Mo and I did together. Not Real Housewives of Atlanta Portia, no.
She pop up with one of these Africans here in Atlanta.
Probably. I would have liked to. What did you think? Did you want to hear more from Sonny?
I did not. I kind of finished. I kind of finished with that. Hey, confident. I saw when they went to break, she got a little thing looking at herself in the mirror, and all that.
Oh, she's definitely very confident. She has been the pretty girl in St. Louis for years, and she's convinced that she is that chick, and it's cool, you know what I mean? But I don't know.
I like she's not bothered by the other women. That's what I like.
She's not. She's not at all. She's not at all. Now, she may need to be bothered with her husband.
That's your go-to, man. Mind your business.
I'm saying he's in jail. He's in prison. She should be. I mean,
she know that before we did. We know.
She did. She did.
He don't got life. Let's be.
He doesn't. He does not. But I'm just saying to be that confident and to be willing to fight to the death to a man that as soon as you married him went back into prison is wild. But go off, sis. Go off, sis. Okay. Yeah. So I think it ended well. Yes. I do want to say that, Tina. So lawsuits are brewing because of the second episode. Initially, the second episode did not include the edit. Well, actually, the first edit included Destiny saying that she was that Melody and Martell attempted to groom her to have a threesome with them. Now, that huh?
And what else?
And that Melody and Martell were in a limo with the two other couples, and that she had performed fellatio on Martell in front of the other two couples in a limo together. That was confirmed. The problem, people said the problem was not that, because a lot of people were like, Melody could do whatever she wants. What's happening? Oh, sugar pie. That was her husband, right? That was her husband, but it was just, it wasn't supposed to be shared. But the problem is that Destiny used the grooming word. And so Melody was very upset. And from what I hear is suing because of that. That edit got out. And well, that is a very dangerous word. That's a very dangerous word.
It can if it was man to woman. It's not going to be as bad as woman to woman. It's not going to be. I'm not downplaying it, but they don't look at it the same. If they said this man was grooming this woman, then they would have never aired it. And that's the reason why I believed it. They would have never aired it. But woman to woman, they didn't. And it still is bad, but they didn't look at it as much of a threat. I don't think.
Well, I think it was inappropriate. And when I did talk to Destiny, she said she should not have used that word. That was not, but that's a good point, Lovey, because Martell initially, there was a scene with Martell and Melody and the Fletchers. And Martell said that the reason that he has constantly said the reason that he stepped out on Melody was because she was not performing certain special activities, one of which she was said to have performed in that limo in front of the other couples. So I at first I don't buy that. That's not why Martell was cheating. Martell was cheating because Martell wanted to cheat. And that is unfortunate. But I think that Melody probably did that to prove to him, like sometime when you think your husband, because according to Destiny, Melody said she would have done more with Martell if he would have stopped cheating, right?
Oh, okay, stop right there. So what does that mean? The couple that's been married how many years? What more can you do but to bring somebody else in?
That's what she said. She said that Melody said she would have been willing to have threesomes if Martell would stop cheating.
That doesn't look good for the grooming.
I mean, that's not, I don't feel like grooming is an appropriate word for a grown person. I feel like, and I think I said this on my show on Monday, grooming is used when someone has power over someone else. Older person, a person that is really is with older people. So if a pastor and a kid in Sunday school, that or a family member and a child, like how could a grown up, a 30-something-year-old groom another 30-something-year-old? Take your ass home. And that's what Nell said. She told her, go home. Why are you staying over there and spending the night and hanging out with them? Especially when you see Destiny's behavior around Melody. Maybe that was what she was open for.
So you don't think two people the same age one can groom the other?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Do you think so?
Yeah.
How?
Because it's not about the age, it's about the experience. So
I think it's about the mental capacity. So somebody could be mentally weak and another person can convince them. But that's convincing. It's not grooming.
Well, maybe that, but I've seen stories, and there was two ladies of the evening. They were they used her as the recruiter to bring other girls in, and then she grooms her on how this thing works.
No, grooming is when you are exactly, Anisha. Grooming and seducing are not the same. Grooming is when it's like when a person, and I don't want to use the example. I was just thinking, when a person starts doing little things, like for instance, I heard there was a pastor that was having inappropriate relations with young boys in the church. And first he'll take them out to play basketball. And, when they're out playing basketball, slap them on the back so that they get used to that is when you are mentally preparing someone for what you're planning to do. And it's not seduction. That's a total different thing. So when you said a woman of the night, because we saw that with the R. Kelly case. There were women that older women that when the new girls would come in would show them how to be intimate with him. That's teaching you the way to be intimate. The grooming is when you give a kid, you show a kid, hey, you know what? I got some little puppies. You want to come see them? And you build a trust relationship with that person so that they start to see you in a trustworthy role. And then when you sneak something in, they're open to it. There's no way that Melody and Martell could groom Destiny.
Kind of like that episode of Different Strokes when that fat white guy was grooming.
Yes. Dudley. Yes, I remember Dudley. He was trying to get Dudley to take his clothes off.
Right.
That's it. There you go, Mo.
Tonight on the special episode.
And then after the episode, they would have that little paragraph that would say, if you know someone, like, call this number. Sugar Pie, get in the bed. You get in the bed. Get in the bed.
So I get it. Okay.
Yeah, so that's not the same. And Destiny did say that she's had threesomes in the past. you cannot. That's not. And she said that she should not have used the word, so she's admitted that. But the fact that they aired it, the fact that they pulled it, and then it was available and was not supposed to be, means that there's probably going to be a lawsuit, and Melly's probably going to get a check.
They knew what they were doing.
You think so? I think they just made a mistake.
Nah.
Because they took it down. They did not air it. They took it down, but then it was on demand and on Philo.
Somebody had to see. Nah, they knew what they were doing.
I thought it was just bad organization, but
It was with
you got too many messy people involved in the first place for that not to happen.
That's true. That's true.
So,
but yeah, I don't think that. And I felt like the conversation about what happened in the limo with the other couples was equally bad, because to me it explains why there's not a level of respect between Maurice, Marceau, and Melody. Because I feel like when you see something like that as a man, if you saw something like that with a friend of yours, I'm not going to say myself because that would not be me. But what if you saw a friend and you were out with your girl, your friend was out, and then you saw her do that to her husband in front of you and 2 other people? Would you still be able to have the same level of respect?
Yeah, it'd be awkward, super, super awkward. Yeah, it'd be awkward.
I mean, be honest. Be honest.
I don't know. I would say it would be awkward.
And what if?
That's all I can say.
So think about Maurice. He has this DUI, and then Melody is like, "Oh, you're doing all these Martin Luther King speeches," and she's talking about him and saying it's disgusting that he's doing this, and he's probably thinking,
"What?" He'd be like, "Yo, you see what I'm saying?"
That's what I'm saying.
Probably was on there and probably got taken out.
Yeah, and I also think that's why Marceau has such a big crush on her.
Now I don't know about that. Now you're taking it too far. Unless it was, I don't know. I would need to see. If she did, yes. Possibly.
There's no need for you to see, Mo.
But what I'm saying is, you're going to look at it. He could lose respect for her. He might like what he saw, but he can still lose respect.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's all I'm saying. Yeah, I think Destiny wants to be a part of that. Also, I do have another update. Destiny and her ex-husband, LeBaric, are now in a child custody battle because he is, well, first of all, he took her to court because she allegedly put his signature on to pay some bills that he did not do. So that case, I believe, has been solved. But they had custody, and she did not allow him to see the child during the days that he was supposed to have the child. So he took her to court. She claimed that there was DV and that there was abuse, and that's why she didn't allow him to see the child. I don't know about that. They have a continuation. The court date was moved back to the 27th of this month. So there was a forgery charge and a check. So the forgery and another charge for something that's similar to that. So there's 2 different charges, and then now the child support, the child custody. So I don't know. That's weird, but I do think when you take all into account that I do believe Sonny had some intel about LeBaric probably not knowing for sure if that was his child or not, right? Or not, or saying that. It obviously turned out to be his child. But if your children's mother does forge your signature on something, that would cause you to be very untrusting of her. I don't know what the DV thing was. We will have to see when this case goes, but it is ridiculous that they're fighting like this. And the little boy is big enough to know what's going on. Now, he did post a picture of him and his son, LeBaric, Law. The baby's name is Law. LeBaric posted a picture of him and Law during Super Bowl. So he did get a chance to see him, but they have to go back to court.
I bet you they do. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's time right now, man. She's gonna figure it out though.
Yeah, she's definitely going through a time. And I think that you know, she's all over the place, but I hope she gets it together.
Did she tell you anything?
I wouldn't say I wouldn't share that because I wouldn't think that would be fair. But I just pray she gets it together. Her candles look nice, but I pray she gets her stuff together. Yeah.
Go get them candles, y'all.
All right. Well, we are gonna wrap Love and Marriage, i.e., arrest and infidelity, Huntsville. Again, if you guys are watching this on the replay, make sure that you put some purple hearts in the chat for our girl Kiki and you know, all of that. Please put purple hearts in the chat. Someone said happy birthday to that young man, Marceau. It's not Marceau's birthday, he's a Libra. But yeah, put hearts in the chat, purple hearts in the chat for Kiki. We'll see you guys next week.
Last 3 Saturdays. Thank y'all.
Yep. All right. We love y'all for watching. Have a blessed weekend, and we'll see you guys back here next week.